Hello everyone, welcome to day 266 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. I'll start with the same move as always. We see e5, so knight to f3. Knight c6, so I'll play bishop c4. We get knight to f6, so I'll just play d3. They jump their knight in, and I know that taking here looks tempting, because it looks like a free pawn, and I'm also attacking them here. So I'm definitely confused by this move. Taking here is tempting, but I'm worried they're gonna play queen up to attack my knight. And then after, they will have moves like this check here, which could be very bad. I'll go ahead and just take the knight normally. Not complicate things. I could of course push him. I like pinning the knight to the queen. I was too worried about taking this pawn because the queen develops. Could add a lot of pressure into my king. Okay, so they want me to take the knight. I could go back, keep the pin, or I could take, and if the queen takes, I just develop my knight. c3 looks like a good move. I'm winning, attacking this. If they take, I just develop. And then I can have this move, which I definitely won. If they take, I take with my knight. And d5 hits the queen and threatens a fork, so they'd have to move to d6. I can always castle. If they don't take and allow me to jump in here, that's just good for me. I'll have moves like knight to b5. For example, if takes and takes, I can jump in here. Play knight b5 to hit the queen and threaten the fork. They choose to hold on to the knight, to the pawn. Now the problem with me taking here is that when the bishop takes, they can win a pawn with check. So I'll go ahead and just castle now. This bishop isn't very strong. I can always just play knight b4 as well. I mean b4. They just castle, but now if I take, it's still bad, so I'll go ahead and kick the bishop away. They choose to go back that way. I'll threaten to trap this bishop with a4. They go ahead and take now. Yeah, and I can't trap the bishop now because they can go here. That's a good move. I can't even actually take the pawn. If I play this, they come here. If I play this and they come here, I have this move. If they have a move, I just move my rook. But they win material after this, because if they push, they just pick up my rook. So this move doesn't really work. I could push here, but then they just take. That's a nice move they found. I can't really push, unfortunately. Don't want to take now. I could just move my rook now to a light square. I'll probably move my rook here just to attack the pawn. They just come in to defend the pawn. This move does win it though. They can't hold on to it after queen c1. If they push, I just take. They can't hold on to it, I don't think. Obviously, I'll take with the knight, just for the opportunity to come to d5, to hit the queen and attack the pawn. I think they're trying to force my bishop away, which would weaken this, but that's not really a problem. This move does stop my knight from coming in here though, which is very annoying. I'll go ahead and take anyways, and then I can drop my knight back to e2. If they play this move, I just drop back. The problem about dropping my knight back is the bishop can come in to actually fork my queen and rook. So maybe my knight has to go back to d1 to protect this square. I can also just move my queen on my next move. So they are trying to trap my bishop or kick it away. If I go here, they have this. So I'll probably just move my queen and then try to push here. They're trying to trade bishops. This would weaken this, but otherwise I don't really see. It would also open up the rook though. So maybe I don't want to take. If I take and the queen takes, that's not as bad. This is protected 3 times, so I don't have to worry about that at the moment. I'll go ahead and take. I'm probably going to see pawn takes. And that's what happens. I could now move the knight to hit the bishop. My knight doesn't have many good squares, but I'll go ahead and try to remove the bishop here. Although this knight move could let the bishop actually take. That'd be a blunder. Definitely not playing that. Instead, I should probably try to rotate my knight this way, drop back, and try to come in like this. Now this has 4 defenders. Rook up. I like the look of bringing my knight in to be annoying. The rook move doesn't target anything at the moment. Hey, if we trade, I'm happy with that. They stopped my knight from making this move, but my plan was to come here. And hit the pawn, and if I do, they have this move. Then I can just take and jump in to tempo the rook. I could always jump back. And I could actually get my, if I can trade this pawn off after d5, I'd be able to get my knight on an outpost here. On the e4 square, it'd be quite good. They choose to add an attacker to this. Rook back just protects this. They have 4 attackers on this now. Bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes, queen takes, rook takes. So I have to drop my rook back to defend. If I take here, the reason this doesn't work is because they have a check. So rook back to defend and then knight takes. Definitely looks like it works. Queen back to defend is fine. This move looks good for me. So if we take, I open up my rook. This move they push. I can maybe think about coming in. I'd love to trade the bishop off, but it's not possible at the moment. Obviously if they take, I'm attacking this. They choose to just hit my knight. If they take this way, I'm actually thinking of rook e1. Although rook e1, I think. They take that way anyway, so there's no reason to talk about that now. My knight could go here. I could finally remove the bishop after knight to b3. Or I could just go back here. Keep everything solid. Do you like the idea of removing the bishop to bring my rook up? But I think I'll just choose to keep everything solid. They just push. That does give me this square. Although that square doesn't really help me at all. Now I could go for this move after all this time. If I go here, they take here, I take here, they take. If I go here and we do this, that's actually fine. If I play this, I'm just terrified they're gonna sacrifice everything. They'll have their queen on the board still, so I don't really want that. I could push and try to remove the bishop this way. This square would be so good for my knight. I could push and then try for this. It does work, but it's just not the best. If I ever play this, they can probably just take. I'll probably just make another knight move. I'd love to play queen here to force the bishop into a move, but I can't play that at the moment. Honestly, I'm thinking of playing a4 and just bringing my rook around this way. Queen up. Adds an attacker to this, but this is already protected 4 times, 5 times even. Also defends the bishop. I'd love to bring this rook into the game, but I just can't do it. I think I'll choose to rotate my rook this way, which would finally free my knight to go this way, but they push now. Them taking is a threat, definitely. I'd lose my rook. I cannot take, that would be terrible. If I go here, they actually have this, which looks like a real problem for me. Although their bishop is dark squared, so maybe I can afford to go there. This is probably the only move that works. They are opening up my king a lot though. I definitely don't like that. The queen comes straight in. Isn't threatening to take, but does look very dangerous. This move works. Oh wow. I just blundered completely. They just have mate on the board. I have to play this move to protect against mate. They just take. And I take protecting against mate. But they just sacrifice anyway. And that's checkmate. Really? This position was that dangerous. After I allowed them in. G3 was a horrible move. The best move was Queen E2. And actually to just allow them to take. Wow. Let's look at this game. I played at a 64.5, they played at a 76.4. I made 2 blunders and they made 3 mistakes. And the game was generally even for most of the game until I made 2 different blunders that threw away the game. Let's see this. Taking the knight is best, I'm doing slightly better here, because I have the center. I can win the pawn. Queen d2 stops the bishop from coming in here. Yeah, I had to just play knight back here, this was my chance to finally move the bishop away from the game. Although if the bishop went here, yeah, I would have this move to force her away. I'd have this square, potentially. This is a blunder. This is a blunder because after this whole line, they're up material, 2 points of material. They also have an outside passed pawn, which is really hard to deal with. So this was a blunder. I didn't realize they can take here. Well, they choose not to. The best move was h3, which I was thinking of playing a long time ago. I was just worried that their bishop can control this diagonal. And here I'm just playing far too weak. h3 is a move that just stops the problem. g3 is it allows the queen in. Honestly, I didn't see the threat of the pawn and queen coming together. This is still checkmate in 2 moves. I did not see this being made. It's the pawn that stops me from being able to move. If I was able to move, I'd still be down the rook, but this wouldn't be an instant loss. So g4 just loses the game on the spot. I actually have to give up this pawn. The queen comes in and there's not much I can do. It's just mate in 4 moves. And I lost the game when I didn't choose to play h3. It was really important to not let this pawn attack my king so much. And they get checkmate, so... I didn't realize b5 was this bad as well. I had to have my rooks defending the pawn before my queen because of this. This just wins material. I'd be completely lost here because they can simplify as much as they want. They can bring their queen in and just damage my position completely. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.